Your cold DM script could be the difference between your calendar looking like this or like this. Just like Rodrigo here in his video production agency that was able to produce over $300,000 in cash collected in just 6 months, and this e-com marketing agency that was able to close $10,000 in new MRR in just their first week, using this exact cold DM system that I'm about to show you in this video. So in the next couple minutes, I'll show you what a bad cold DM looks like that books 0 meetings, and what good cold DMs actually look like. But first, let me explain to you why you need to be sending out cold DMs. Well, first of all, compare to something like cold email where whoever you're reaching out to can't really trust you right off the bat. On Twitter DMs, for example, someone can literally just click on your profile and see whether or not you're an authority in your space. And not only that, but cold emails have spam filters, and lately they've been getting absolutely insane. Cold DMs, on the other hand, on platforms like Twitter, land right in your prospect's inbox. With cold email, unless you are literally top 1% when it comes to deliverability, it's not even that people want to ignore you, it's just that your emails aren't landing in the inbox. So your emails aren't even being received. And so you spend a ton of time and money scraping leads, writing the perfect sequences to just have your emails not even be read. Another thing is that unlike cold email, cold DMs are not saturated at all. And so this makes it easy for your messages to actually stand out, meaning you can actually get your prospects' attention because they're not getting 100 plus DMs every single day in their Twitter inbox like they are on cold email. And lastly, there's no real big players playing the Twitter DM game right now. And so barrier to entry is low, and it's the lowest it'll ever be, meaning it's only going to get harder from here and more competitive as more people start getting on this new wave. Alright, so what makes a bad cold DM? There's a couple things that are going to be a dead giveaway that your DMs aren't going to work. First of all, if your grammar is really bad and you're going after a professional prospect, odds are they're not going to work too well. Another thing I see a ton is people not doing enough research, not personalizing with at least first name, and making their DMs just way too long. Another one I see a ton is people making their DMs super hard to read, meaning they don't format their DMs in a way that make it easy for people to just skim through, figure out what they're trying to pitch, and then decide whether or not they're going to answer. Another huge mistake that I see is people just talking about themselves. If there's something your prospect does not care about, it's literally you. They just care about what's in it for them. And so if you can't make it very clear as to why they should reply and why they should say yes to your offer, then you're doing something wrong. And the last one is either having no calls to action or having the wrong call to action. You really don't want to be pitching calls right off the bat. You just want to make it as easy as possible for the prospect to show interest in whatever it is that you're saying. I typically like going for soft CTAs, and so I'll get into those here shortly. And so just think about how much money these mistakes have been costing you. Yet a lot of people think that spending hours scraping leads, building that perfect lead list, or tweaking their offers for 20,000 times are the solution for 0 booked calls. Now, I'm not saying those things aren't going to help, but if your script isn't good, you just won't be playing the game to the best of your ability. And so the real solution is to just avoid the mistakes that I was talking about here. I can pretty much guarantee that prospects will start taking you more seriously, and thus you'll start booking way more sales calls. So let me just go over a couple examples of bad DMs that I've gotten. So I actually just went into my inbox and then screenshotted a bunch of bad, mid, and good DMs, and I'm gonna walk through the bad ones right now. So for example, this one, the reason why I have it as bad is because they don't even personalize with my first name, which is the easiest thing in the world to do. And they clearly don't know who they're reaching out to because they're talking about SmartLead, which is a cold email tool, when my profile is literally all about Twitter DMs. Here's another one that I put in the bad section. These guys actually did personalize with my first name, but they're saying, hey, I saw you're scaling meta ads for your store. If they did 2 seconds of research, they would have seen that we are not an e-com brand, and so this is so not for us. Now, this is a funny one. It's not that this is a very bad DM. This just has a couple things that I personally don't like. So for example, they aren't using any sort of personalization, meaning they're not saying, hey, first name. You can clearly see that this was built using AI because of the hyphens. And ever wonder if you could get, so this is more so like an ad. It just reads like an ad. And then the call to action is ready to stop guessing and start scaling. Let's talk. Like, this is just such an ad, and it's so easy to tell that this was built with AI. And so I personally don't like these sort of messages. Here's another one that's just very confusing. They're saying, hi, Alex. So they did personalize. Now they're saying, notice your trust signals boost booked calls in outreach, which is just I don't even understand what they're trying to say. And so this is just a very confusing message that I don't really understand. So that's why this is in the bad category. Now, here's another one that I put in the bad category. It says, yo, Alex, saw you followed some similar ecom guys. Curious, are you open to discussing how your brand is doing here? The grammar, doing on Amazon. Obviously, we don't have a brand. And so, no, like it just doesn't fit with what we're doing. Now, if you're thinking, I know what I'm doing wrong now, but I don't know what to write, I put together a free document with our best performing script templates that you can steal for yourself for completely free. Check out the link in the description to access it. Now you can use those templates to follow along as I explain what makes a good cold DM. All right, so what makes a good cold DM? Whenever you're thinking about an outreach campaign in general, you really need to think about not just your DM, but the system that your DM is in. Meaning, in order for your script to be taken seriously, you need to have a well-optimized profile. Reason being is if you have a good looking profile and you have a good message and it's targeting the right person, then they can just click one button. They'll be able to verify whether or not you know what you're talking about. And so you need a good cover photo, good profile picture, clean name, username. You need some content, and then you want to have some sort of link where people can find out more about you in your bio. And lastly, the easiest way to increase your credibility is by buying the $8 blue check. Number 2 is knowing exactly who you're reaching out to and their level of awareness. So I just showed you some of the bad DMs that I've been getting, and you saw how people are asking if I have a problem that I obviously don't have. And so if you do that and you're reaching out to the wrong type of people, it doesn't matter how good your script is, literally nothing will work. And not only that, but you always want your messages to be well researched and personalized. At the very least, you want to have first name personalization. If you can include more personalization, then even better. And lastly, you want a clear offer with a soft call to action. You want something that is clearly meant for the person you're reaching out to, and you want it to be super easy for them to tell how that benefits them. I'm going to go into a couple examples here shortly, but if you can do that, if you can provide so much value, the prospect's like, wow, I've never seen this much value in a DM, you will get great results whenever you're doing outreach. And so if you follow this system, you'll be able to get results like these. And the only reason I keep showing results is to just prove to you that this really, really works. So let me just show you some examples of what good DMs actually look like. All right, so if we go back into our little doc here that I put together, and again, these are literal screenshots from my Twitter DMs. So this is what I was talking about whenever it comes to personalization, knowing who you're reaching out to and providing a ton of value. So a lot of people have been doing this, right? Where it's like, hey, first name, I made this for YouTube script for you. If you're down to record it, I'll edit it, plus make the thumbnail, plus do the SEO for free. They link to a Google Doc, and then they just say, let me know. So what are they doing here? They are personalizing. They know exactly who they're reaching out to because a YouTube script isn't one size fits all. So this YouTube script, and I checked it, is specifically built for Drippy.ai. And then they have a very soft call to action, which I absolutely love. This type of outreach works really, really well. Now, the reason this specific type of outreach isn't working as well as it used to is because there's more and more people catching on to this, and now everyone that's starting a YouTube agency is running this sort of play. And so what you need to do in that case is do something like this. Now, this message is in the mid tier, and I'll tell you why shortly. But what this guy is doing is he's completely differentiating himself from all the other YouTube agencies that are offering this right here. Okay, how is he doing that? He's saying, hey, yo, G, how do you feel about me crafting your next 12 YouTube video ideas and titles at no cost? No strings attached. Team is just a fan of your offer and thought it could help rip with YouTube, right? So this guy is going above and beyond. While everyone is just giving you one, this guy's like, yo, I'll give you the next 12, which I've never seen before. And so this is what you want to be doing if you have an idea for a lead magnet that you know works well, but a lot of people are doing it. And so it's just not as effective as it used to. Now, the reason why this is in the mid section is because they don't personalize with like at least first name. This said like, yo, Alex, just 1,000 times better. Now, the reason why it's not only the offer and the fact that it's differentiated, it's also like, okay, they're giving you a bunch of stuff for free. They're saying no strings attached. They're at least saying that like, hey, fan of your offer. Now, saying stuff like this usually works well because people will be like, oh, okay, this guy's a fan, right? So they're more likely to reply. So this is just a great DM in my opinion. And I would just add a little bit more personalization. And if you wanted to make it a little bit better, you could even shoot out the link first, showing them that like, hey, I already did all this work for you. All right, now we have another one. Hey, I have one professional appointment setter that is booking 5 to 10 qualified sales meetings weekly, all done for you that I can place for a business. Also, they work complete commission basis only. Would you be open to me explaining how it works? Now, a couple things I like here. Number one, it is a very clear offer. Number two, commission basis only, which is way easier to say yes to. And they're letting us know that it's commission basis only. And then a very soft call to action. Plus, they have first name personalization, which I love. Now, if you wanted to make this even more personalized, then I would talk about like B2B SaaS companies, or I would talk about other B2B SaaS companies where they've placed appointment setters and they've booked 5 to 10 qualified sales meetings for them. And it also is on a weekly basis. So I mean, I'd be curious to know if they're actually doing this, but you could make it more personalized by, for example, this message was sent to me, a B2B SaaS founder. So if they name drop some other B2B SaaS companies and say that they only work with B2B SaaS companies, then that would make it even better. Here we have another one. Hey, Alex, if I can put your sales team on more calls with B2B companies, would that be interesting? It's 100% pay on results. We help B2B companies book 15 plus meetings a month without cold email. No call needed. Can send over Loom if interested. Okay, so this one I like. It does have, this should actually be in the mid. Does have first name personalization, more calls to B2B companies. I would add like, and then I would name drop testimonials that we have on our website. That would make it super, super personalized, and you can use that, and you can actually do that with AI like Drippy. Would that be interesting? I like that. It has kind of like 2 different CTAs, which is a little bit weird, and I don't like the format. Like, I feel like this is harder to read than if they were to space it out. I really like the fact that they're saying it's 100% pay on results, and then they're kind of saying we help B2B companies book without cold. Like, I think this is kind of extra, like not really needed. I would just leave it with that would be interesting, and then I would say no need for a call. Can send over a Loom video, a Loom if you're interested. I really, really like this call to action. I've talked about this a bunch on this YouTube channel, so maybe this guy watches them. I don't know, but I really like this. Those are just a couple of changes that I'd make. And that's the last one I have for good. Let's go into mid. Hi, Alex, if I get you top offshore talent in just 2 weeks and cut your hiring costs by 80% or you don't pay, would you be open to that? I like that. What I don't like here is the reply yes if you'd like to learn more. It's just like not natural. It's one of those where it's like, if I'm interested, I know what I'm going to reply. Just saying reply yes if you'd like to learn more just seems like it's automated. And so whenever you're thinking about these messages, you just want to make it super obvious that it's not an automated message. And so here I would just write something like, hey, let me know if interested. Something like that, soft call to action that isn't kind of super robotic, if that makes sense. Hey, Alex, there's been a serious Facebook ban wave lately. Tons of accounts getting shut down out of nowhere. Did yours get caught up in it too? Now, the reason I have this in mid, like I really like this, and this could be working super, super well. Now, the reason I have it in mid is because number one, these long hyphens. So it's clearly using AI. However, if we had a Facebook ad account get banned and I got this message, this would be an absolute like lifesaver, and I would be all over this. The reason I have it in mid is because we don't, right? And so this can be a really good message if you're targeting the right person. And so that's why it's in mid, plus the AI is in there. And then this one, hey, I made something for you, Alex. And there's a few things with your YouTube channel that could be costing you inbound leads from YouTube. So I wrote a 4-minute video breaking down these 3 changes you can make to your YouTube channel, book an extra 5 calls a month. Is it cool if I send the video over? I like this. However, you can make it better by name dropping the things that would make our YouTube channel better. Number one, and then if they actually did record the 4-minute video breaking down the 3 changes, then I would just send the video. Now, the thing is here, like they haven't recorded the video. And so if that's the case, then I wouldn't say I recorded a video. I would just say like, hey, let me know if you want me to shoot over a quick video explaining how this works or explain the 3 changes that I'd make, right? And so that's how I'd make this one better. And so that's the difference between good and bad cold DMs. And if you apply exactly what I shared with you today, I can guarantee that you'll be able to scale your business much faster. Now you know exactly what mistakes to avoid and what actually gets results. But if I'm being completely honest, a good cold DM script won't save you if you are running out of people to send DMs to. Or even worse, you're burnt out after hours of manually sending these cold DMs. And so that's why I created a free step-by-step cold DM course teaching you how to scrape, how to fully automate your sending, and how to write personalized messages that hit every single time. This way, you'll never run out of people to DM, and each and every single person will be hit with a highly personalized message on complete autopilot. If you want to watch that video, hit the first link down below the description, or I'll also leave it on screen. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll see you there.